Sagittarius, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. As per usual, you just click right on that description box below and it will talk about the significance of the spread as well as the placement of each card. Now, I have the playlist organized by astrological sign with the most recent reading moving backwards. And as soon as I'm done uploading this week's read, what I'm doing right now to YouTube, then I'll take last week's read and put it at the beginning of that playlist. Do, do, do. Sagittarius. You are looking at a new perspective, okay? You're seeing things in a different light regarding your independence. So, what I'm getting strongly from this is that you have been so independent for such a long time that you have been intimidating people or pushing them away. Okay? You maybe got hurt and can only trust yourself. So there's a little bit of self sabotaging there, not letting people in. Or maybe you wanted people to come in, but you kept saying, you kept taking care of everything yourself, and people felt like there was nothing that they could help or provide you with. So they just acknowledged that you're a very independent person and then moved on thinking that you don't need them. Okay? So, what you're hoping to do is you're comfortable taking care of things yourself, but you're hoping to reframe how you're presenting your independence. Does that make sense? You're really looking at, am I pushing people away by doing everything on my own? When people are offering to help me, should I just kind of accept the offer even though I don't necessarily need their help? Should I accept it just because they want to help me? Excuse me. And the answer, Sagittarius, is yes. Sometimes when somebody wants to help you, you should just include them in what you're doing. And it makes them feel like they brought something to the table. That creates reciprocity and trust. So you're starting to relook how you present yourself to other people so you don't come off as 100% independent to the point of intimidation. Excuse me. All right. So we go from the Ace of Pentacles in the inverse all the way to the King of Pentacles in the inverse. You fear that you have not been leveraging your resources properly for a very long time, and that's why you're not getting the return on investment that you want. You're like, oh my God, how long have I been doing this, and what have I suffered because of it? You fear that you've been doing this for way too long, and you feel like you missed out on a lot, but I'm telling you right now, it's not as much as you think. You just fear like you missed out on everything. You may have missed out on a couple of things, Sag, but it's not as bad as you're fearing. This is your hope. That is a perception. This is your fear. That is a perception. Now we're getting into the reality of the situation. So the hope is to reframe how you present your independence so you don't come off that intimidating. And your fear is, I've been doing this for so long, I missed out on everything, and there's no chance for me to recover these missed opportunities. The reality of the situation is, yes, there is. Okay. There are lessons to be learned here. I mean, obviously, this is the Three of Swords. This is about heartache. This is about pain. This is about communicable disease. This is about all those types of, disappointment. You're coming out of these things. The disappointment already happened when you realized what you were doing, and that realization came in slow. Okay? But as you're looking to self, as you're looking to change something, because that's what this person's doing here, is they're looking at the world in their hands. They're recognizing that they need to change their inner perception before they can bring something out into fruition of the world. And that's where you are in your reality. You recognize the healing process is to change something from within. So what I'm telling you, Sagittarius, is your reality is you are looking for an internal solution to fill an internal problem, which is the definition of independence, okay? But you need to soften your approach with other people. You're a little guarded because you're protecting this heart, and you just need to find a way to trust yourself and heal yourself enough to start letting people in and expressing a little bit more vulnerability. Because that's what people are looking for in order to come in. They don't see the vulnerability, so they assume you don't need them and they move away. Even though there's a lot of people here willing to help you. Yep. Here you go. Keeping up a good poker face. And the inner knowing that people are actually want to help you. The inner knowing that people are close enough to you that they want to help you, but it's this poker face that you've been keeping up for so long, this protection, this defense mechanism, okay, that's actually stopping people from coming in. And in your world, okay, you've painted this pretty picture of complete independence in your head that's almost become a fantasy. Because if you maintain 100, and I'm not saying it's bad to be independent. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is that reciprocity and trust needs to be built one way or another. And when people who you care about want to offer you assistance, sometimes you need to just accept that assistance to move in. Because right here, you were working so hard on taking care of yourself, being that you've actually created distance between you and those people. There's this world in your head that you go to where you're like, I got everything myself. And you can. You're perfectly okay doing that. So if you let somebody in and then they leave this time, you're not going to fall apart like in the past. You're going to go right back into this independent mode. So you are afraid almost of codependence with somebody else. If you let somebody in, you feel you'll be codependent. And that's not where you are in your life right now, Sagittarius. Because you are so independent, the next step is for you to learn how to be interdependent with other people. There's reciprocity. You help them, they help you, but nobody relies on the other person 100%. So, interdependence. Google some YouTube videos on interdependence because you fear letting somebody in because you're becoming codependent. But this tells me that you've learned that lesson. You're not going to wind up in a codependent relationship anymore. Be it a friendship, a work relationship, whatever. You have this sense of independence. Now you need to learn the concept of interdependence. So Google interdependence. Look up some YouTube videos. Talk to some actual experts on how to move forward with that next step, if you can, if you have somebody to talk to. Sagittarius, this uncomfortable feeling that you're feeling in wanting to let people in is an area for new growth. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, I say it early and I say it often. There is no growth without discomfort. Move past this stage to find a better you. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I will see you next week.